Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Time Traveler's Handbook. Today we are going to be talking about the New Year's special for Season 11 titled Resolution for Doctor Who. Spoilers ahead. In the New Year's special for 2019, the Doctor and her companions encounter a scout Dalek who has taken a human host and attempts to call for an alien invasion. The most interesting thing that I wanted to talk about with this episode were the circumstances in which the Dalek was in the episode in the first place. Initially, it had arrived in the 9th century, and it was defeated and chopped into 3 pieces so they could prevent it from reforming. Then, in the 21st century, one of its pieces is dug up and proceeds to reform with its other 2 parts, reviving the Dalek in the present. This idea of implanting a threat thousands of years before they become a real threat harkens back to the fantasy books about prophecy and legend, where once every 1,000 years or so, something returns that the hero of the story has to defeat. It's a bit of a contrived, tried and true trope of fantasy writing, but somehow the idea that the Dalek had time traveled to get to that point in the past makes me look at this in a different light. If the Dalek had foreknowledge that they would return one day in the far future when no one would remember that the Dalek existed, then this is a pretty masterful play by them to attempt to embed themselves in a place that no one would expect them to appear later. Obviously, this wasn't the intention of the Dalek initially. Initially, they wanted to take over at the time that they existed initially, but this is a pretty good backup plan if they were able to foresee this. So, I think the use of time travel to make this traditional trope of an ancient prophecy being fulfilled is a unique and interesting way to go about building your story, and I want to see more things that execute this well, turning a classic trope into a time travel mechanic and making it more interesting that way. That's all I wanted to talk about with this episode. Next time we will talk about the 2-parter that starts out season 12. As always, thank you for listening.